Ryan Bale's Plymouth team is getting hot at the right time between the outside sniping of Clay Hilliard and the inside play of Garrett Tharp. The Pilgrims have rattled off 4 straight wins. But tonight, Ronnie Thomas brings his Northridge team to the Rock. The Raiders are one of 3 teams tied for the NLC lead thanks to the savvy backcourt tandem of senior Connor Utley and junior Jackson Erickson. It's Plymouth and Northridge next on 46. You are looking at the Rock at Plymouth High School, where tonight this Northern Lakes Conference tussle plays out as the Northridge Raiders visit the Plymouth Pilgrims on the 46 game of the week. How you doing, everybody? Between my Hall of Fame partners, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for what promises to be another exciting Friday night of high school basketball action. The Northridge Raiders 7-6 on the year, but they're tied for the lead in the Northern Lakes Conference. And Ronnie Thomas's team kind of had a low point the last time they were on 46 against Warsaw. Since that time, though, they've had some people step up in their roles.
And they had to. The younger people have to mesh in with the older players. Connor Utley is an outstanding athlete and competitor. They got a great game from Jackson Erickson last time out. Nick Yoder, kind of a tough night for that young man. But, you know, he's a proven talent on this team. He has to go tonight if they're going to get a chance to beat Plymouth.
Meanwhile, the Plymouth Pilgrims have been a very streaky team this season. They won 5 of their first 6. Then they lost 4 in a row, and they've come back to win 4 in a row. So it looks like Ryan Bale's team is starting to hit its stride.
And when you read the results of a Plymouth win, you're seeing Clay Hilliard carry the team. You're seeing McCramer do a great job. You're seeing Tharp do some things, especially rebounding. But they've got some young guys. They've got a young man named Reichert who comes off the bench, just a freshman, but he gives them some energy. And again, when you welcome the younger players in your team, you got a chance to be more successful.
Now, as we look at the Northern Lakes Conference standings, you'll see that Northridge is tied right up there with Elkhart Memorial and Warsaw. But as we look ahead in their schedule, Bo Hunt, this may be the toughest test they have in the NLC the rest of the year. And it's an awful tough test when you come here to the Rock.
It definitely is. Anytime you come to the Rock to play in this gymnasium, it's just the atmosphere, the crowd, the way Plymouth plays at home. They just play more physical, more down to earth at home and within their system. You know, with Northridge, they have to have some guys step up. We saw Erickson step up against Warsaw. He had his career high against Warsaw in the defeat. So then I have to have everybody else step up as well tonight. It's going to be a gritty game, that's for sure.
If you like NASCAR, you might like this one because there could be some bodies crashing together. We've got the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win next on the 46 game of the week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by Indiana Criminal Justice, IU South Bend, TCU, Jordan Automotive Group, Bethel College Admissions, Electrical Workers Local 153, Crown Trophy, JV Macri Orthodontics, Bill's Heating, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, Ruoff Home Mortgage, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back to the Rock as we get you ready for Northridge and Plymouth in the Northern Lakes Conference clash. And it's time now to look at our keys to win, brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. And first of all, for the Northridge Raiders, they come into this game with a dynamic backcourt headed up by senior Connor Utley. He's averaging almost 13 points a game and 3 rebounds a game. Also has leading the team in assists. So Utley, a dynamic part of what they do, but he also gets some help lately from Jackson Erickson. This kid has been red hot since we saw him against Warsaw. Had his career high 25 that night, and he has had 6 straight games in double figures, including 19 Tuesday night in a win over Clay. The keys to win for Ronnie Thomas and the Raiders.
First of all, Chuck, they've got to find the shooters, and Plymouth has some. Hilliard, Filson, Kramer, and Reichert can light it up from the outside. They got to know where they are. They got to play inside out on defense, take care of the business inside, and they got to get to the foul line. A very good free throw shooting team, and Ronnie Thomas has them ready. He's 70-55 in his 6th season at Northridge.
Oh, extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. But, you know, if we get one tonight, that would make us 3-0 on the road in conference, and that would be something special. So we just got to worry about tonight and worry about the Pilgrims. It's going to be a test.
In order to do that, they've not only got to keep this crowd under control, they have to keep the Plymouth players under control, and that includes Clay Hilliard. The 6'1 junior is one of the best three-point shooters in the state of Indiana, and he averages over 17 points a game. He gets help on the inside from Caden McCramer, big physical senior, 6 feet 2 inches tall, scoring about 10 points, getting about 5 rebounds a game. You'll see him do a lot of that, diving on the floor for loose balls. The keys to win for Ryan Bales and the Pilgrims.
Number one, they have to communicate on the screens, and there'll be a lot of them. It's what Northridge likes to do. They'll be very patient offensively. They have to play aggressively on offense and get the ball into the post when they can. Get it into the big man, Garrett Tharp, and they got to get physical because Northridge will do that. Northridge has a couple of guys who played some football, got a couple of guys with some size, and so this will be a Northern Lakes Conference clash. And the head coach of the Plymouth Pilgrims is Ryan Bales, 103-54 in his 7th season. Plymouth, 187 wins overall in 13 years.
Well, probably, I mean, at this point, you know, we don't have too many weak opponents coming up, and this is really the start of a tough stretch for us. These guys are the most balanced team I think we've seen all season. Just a great inside-outside combination. You know, Utley and Erickson are very hard-nosed guards and very competitive. The inside guys just find ways to compete. So we got our hands full tonight.
So will the Plymouth faithful have plenty to cheer about, or can Northridge grab another big road win? It's the kind of game with March intensity, played in late January. Those have been the Jordan Automotive keys to win. Tip-off is next on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is brought to you by the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute. Says, whoa, don't text and drive. They're getting ready for the starting lineups here at the Rock. So are we. Bob Nagel brings us.
And we start off with the Northridge Raiders. And the Raiders come in with a record of 7-6. Starting in the backcourt, Connor Utley, 5'11 senior guard, along with Braden Tadeo, 5'10 senior guard. And they're going to go with Jackson Erickson, 5'11 junior, will also start on a wing. Nick Yoder will be at a forward, 6'1 senior, and 6'6 sophomore Alex Stauffer will be on that front line for the Northridge Raiders under the direction of head coach Ronnie Thomas. We'll take a look at the series history here in just a minute. Got to give the starting lineups. There it is. Plymouth leads the series all time, 19-15. First meeting, 1975. Last meeting, Northridge a winner. 58-47, 56-47, January 27, 2017. So this series has been intense, and we're going to take a look at the starting lineups now for the Plymouth Pilgrims. They're the Rockies during the football season, but the Pilgrims in basketball, and here's the way they line up. 5'10 senior guard Benji Nixon will wear number 10 tonight. Clay Hilliard is number 12. He's a 6'1 junior guard, one of the top three-point shooters in the state. 6'2 junior Cole Filson will start at a guard. He'll also get a big contribution tonight from 6'2 senior, number 25, Caden McCramer. And in the post, 6'4 senior Garrett Tharp will wear number 50 on that Plymouth uniform. And Chuck Freeby excited about the fact that the Plymouth Pilgrims are wearing white uniforms with white numbers. Good luck, partner.
Well, thanks. We could use that. Obviously, the crowd getting into it here at the Rock as the Pilgrims are being introduced to this crowd. Ryan Bales mentioned that we just have 3 home games remaining for the Pilgrims before the season heads into the tournament. This will be a big one for them. It's Plymouth and Northridge, and we'll have the tip-off next on 46. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you by IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise. Two coaches who were pretty good players in their own rights. Ronnie Thomas at Northridge. Ryan Bales was a 1,000-point scorer at North Judson. He's been the head coach here at Plymouth for 7 seasons, over 100 career wins.
And a good crowd on hand here for the ball game as Northridge shows up in their road green uniforms. Plymouth wearing the all whites, and here to call tonight's game, our LaCie Sports Director, my partner, Chuck Freeby.
Justin Shippey will toss it up. Alex Stauffer and Garrett Tharp jump, and the tip is won by Plymouth. The Pilgrims come into this game with a record of 9-6 overall. 4 straight wins. Their best win on the season came over John Glenn. 5 of their 6 losses came to teams with winning records. Garrett Tharp handles the ball up top as Northridge opens in man-to-man defense.
Tharp wearing a bandage on his forehead already. That did not happen in tonight's game, by the way.
No, it happened on an elbow from Cole Filson in practice. Filson seemed unapologetic. So Tharp, the 6'4 senior, and that's Clay Hilliard, their sharpshooter. He'll take it down the baseline and throw it away. Northridge comes in with a record of 7-6. They beat South Bend Clay 57-46 on Tuesday night. And that's Connor Utley handling the ball out front. Braden Dedeo with the ball, and now Jackson Erickson. As Plymouth will go with its man-to-man. Erickson, who's been hot as of late, scores the first basket of tonight's game.
Very impressive in our game that we did with Warsaw a couple of weeks ago, and he stepped up and continues to perform.
He's averaging 12 points a game. On the drive, kicking it outside. McCramer for 3. Caden McCramer gives Plymouth the lead. He hit 3 threes in the game against Triton earlier this year. He averages 10 points a game. Alex Stauffer and the sophomore rims the shot away. Hilliard with the rebound for Plymouth.
Check up until Stauffer's missed. Both teams were shooting 100%.
Tharp with the bucket and the bump. So Garrett Tharp, a 6'4 senior, who has had a couple of double-doubles this year, takes the feed from McCramer and goes in strong, draws the contact from Alex Stauffer, who is called for the foul. And the 67% free throw shooter's foul shot, sponsored by Michiana Contracting, is off the mark.
Almost tipped it back to himself off the backboard. That would have been a nice finish.
An early 5-2 Plymouth lead. Erickson outside, guarded by Clay Hilliard. Stauffer outside the arc. Now Tadeo, who's usually not much of an offensive force. Erickson not shy about hoisting. He misses, gets back on defense as Plymouth comes up the floor.
Took a shot you can get any time in a possession. Coach will be having a discussion about that.
Hilliard for 3. And Clay Hilliard hits his 55th three-pointer of the year. He is a 45% three-point shooter on the season. Plymouth jumps out to an early 8-2 lead. Stauffer looking for some help, found the cutting Erickson, who missed the layup. But Erickson got his own rebound back and feeds Nick Yoder. Utley to Yoder in the corner for 3. It's off the front rim, and the rebound comes to Benji Nixon. He'll race all the way for 2, but missed the layup. So Northridge, which has been perfect in road games in the NLC this year, trying to come back, but Utley can't get that one to drop, and Hilliard gets another rebound.
Nice idea by Utley to use the backboard with the soft bank shot, but not open this late at night.
Driving the lane is Benji Nixon, but he can't hit over the defensive Nick Yoder. And here comes Northridge the other way. Northridge tied with Elkhart Memorial and Warsaw for the conference lead. Finds Utley short on the shot. Good tip by Stauffer to keep the rebound alive. But Tharp knocks it off Stauffer's hand and out of bounds. It'll be Plymouth ball. Good defensive play by Garrett Tharp.
Folks, don't pass up this deal from Papa John's Pizza. Try a pan or large dual layer pepperoni pizza for only $10, or add any of their salted caramel desserts to your pizza order. Your favorite desserts topped with salted caramel for a sweet and savory treat. We'd like to thank Papa John's Pizza of Plymouth for feeding our production crew tonight with great pizza. Papa John's Pizza, better ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John sponsors our first quarter tonight. McCramer to Tharp. Looked for Hilliard going through the back door, but now Tharp will take the wing jumper. It's short, and here comes Erickson. Northridge has had some good looks, has not been able to put them in. Driving is Tadeo, and he lays it up and in. Braden Tadeo for 2 points, and it's an 8-4 game.
Sacrificed the body a little bit there. Northridge with 6 rebounds, Plymouth with 4 so far.
Evan Ziegler handling the ball as he came in during the last buzzer, and Ziegler, the first man off the bench for Plymouth tonight. Tharp guarded by Stauffer. Ziegler into the lane, forced that shot. It goes out of bounds, and it will be Northridge basketball.
Forced it a little bit right there, did Ziegler. Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies is an Indiana company that impacts industries worldwide. Over half a century of quality and excellence has made us the industry knowledge source. We support the efforts of the young people in this game tonight. We're working toward the same goal, after all, and that is a great finish.
Utley fouled by Ziegler, who got a little too physical that time.
Foul number 24,
that is the first foul called against Plymouth tonight. And the officials tonight, Justin Shippey is joined by Jake Linder and Joe Rudolph, crew out of Fort Wayne. Plymouth will go to the bench again. Peyton Skirvin takes the place of Garrett Tharp.
Skirvin, another one of the names you heard during the football season for Plymouth.
Ryan Bales saying before the game that he knew that 6 other teams in the Northern Lakes Conference would be rooting for him tonight, because Northridge sitting there atop the league, and with Wawasee and Concord yet to come up in the league. If Plymouth doesn't get this win tonight, Northridge may be able to run the table the rest of the way in the NLC.
And Plymouth at 2-2. This is really their last hope to stay in the conference race. You lose 3 times, it's going to be over.
Hilliard with the ball, tries to spin on Tadeo, who shut him off nicely. Now down the lane and banging into Stauffer, and they'll call the blocking foul on Alex Stauffer. So Cole Filson was able to draw the contact that time.
And he got a break because he was really out of control as he got down low. Folks, more than 50 years ago, encompassing 3 generations in the construction industry, Michiana Contracting has grown to one of the most comprehensive contractors in the state of Indiana. They have the resources and experience to handle a project from beginning to end and every aspect in between. Michiana Contracting in Plymouth, Indiana.
Plymouth doing a little weave out front. Then they got it to Cole Filson, who's able to hit the shot. And Filson gets his first basket of the game. The 6'2 junior averages 6 points a contest. It's a 6-point lead as Erickson slices in for 2. Well, you can see his confidence growing with every time we see him.
He's a real threat and a real scorer. Has that mentality, put the ball in the basket.
Ziegler handles the ball, working against Camden Knepp, who checked into the game. Ziegler down the lane with a floater for 2. Evan Ziegler, a 5'10 junior, not known for his offense, but Bobby had some key minutes in that Northwood game that you did.
And I'll tell you what, he's a feisty young man, wants to be a contributor, came out, missed a shot, then committed a foul. All in the effort of making a difference in the game, but he settled down, made a nice basket there, a little floater.
A couple of newcomers to the Northridge lineup. Carter Stoltzfus, a freshman, checks into the lineup, along with number 34, Kyle Carson. Stoltzfus is only played in 6 games, but he's a pretty good 3-point shooter. And that's Stoltzfus with the ball right now, the tag hanging out the back of his britches. There's Micah Yoder inserted in the lineup. Stoltzfus, and now Erickson again as we hit the final minute of period number 1. Micah Yoder working inside against Lesenby and draws the foul. So Brayson Lesenby, who just checked into the lineup, picks up his first foul. And it'll send Micah Yoder, a 71% free throw shooter, to the line with free throws sponsored by TK Steel.
Head coach Ryan Lightfoot and the Bethel Pilots invite you to join them for a game this season on the campus of Bethel College in Mishawaka. Bring the entire family for a game and enjoy college basketball at its finest. Visit their website at bethelcollege.edu for a complete basketball schedule. The Pilots wishing the teams tonight a great game.
Yoder was an all-state offensive lineman. He's also a member of the choir at Northridge High School. And he sinks both free throws to bring the margin down to 4. Bryce Carmichael, number 14, checking into the game now for Plymouth. 5'11" junior. Hilliard will bring it up for the Pilgrims, who have the advantage.
Being very patient again on offense.
With this lineup out there, you would expect that Hilliard would have to do the bulk of the scoring. We'll see what kind of support he can get. Peyton Skirvin needs some help, and he finds Bryce Carmichael.
Plymouth leaving that lane wide open. Look for a backdoor cutter, perhaps.
I think Ryan Bales is content to perhaps hold for the last shot of the quarter, but Hilliard picked up his dribble, shuffled his feet, and Northridge will get it back.
Second turnover of the ball game for Plymouth. Folks, TK Steel proudly supports the Northridge Raiders. Wishes them good luck in tonight's game, and TK Steel would like to give a special shout out to a special young man, senior number 10, Connor Utley. Young man, continue this great year. He had a wonderful year in football and now in basketball.
Stoltzfus finds Tadeo, clock running out. Stoltzfus from way downtown is off the front of the iron, no good. And the first quarter comes to an end. So the Plymouth Pilgrims use the three-point ball to their advantage, getting a couple from Caden McCramer and Clay Hilliard. And they lead Northridge 12-8 after 1 on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Bethel College Admissions, equipping for lifelong service. Ronnie Thomas going over things on the Northridge bench. I'm sure he wants to make adjustments, but what did you see in the first quarter, Bo Hunt?
Well, with Plymouth, they got 5 guys in the scoring book, so they're really shooting it pretty well. Northridge, on the other hand, Utley, Yoder, 0 points in that first quarter. They're not shooting it very well. Maybe forcing the shots just a little bit. Look for Utley and Yoder to get a few more shots here in the second quarter, guys.
All right, and Bo's sideline report brought to us by our friends at Bill's Heating. Second quarter by Papa John's of Plymouth.
Plymouth in the first quarter, 5 out of 9 from the field. They were 2 out of 2 from three-point range. Northridge, 3 out of 10 from the field, 30%. Didn't hit a three-pointer, did make both of their free throws.
Micah Yoder hands it off to Connor Utley. Benji Nixon doing a wonderful defensive job on Utley, but here's Yoder inside. Couldn't get that one to go, and a fine box out by Plymouth gets the rebound for McCramer.
Plymouth now with 5 rebounds, Northridge with 6.
Hilliard being guarded by Camden Knepp right now. Braden Tadeo has done a pretty decent job on Hilliard tonight. We'll see if Knepp can stay with him. A lot of movement, a lot of screens from both these teams in their offensive sets. And a whistle and a foul away from the ball. It's going to be called on Micah Yoder, his first.
Middlebury Community Schools, the top achieving school district, is now accepting tuition-free transfer students. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
So Nick Yoder checks back into the lineup. Kyle Carson will have a seat. Plymouth still up by 4 a minute into the second quarter. Tharp posting up down low. And the big fella goes to work on Micah Yoder, but couldn't put it in. Good defense by Yoder that time. Nick Yoder with the rebound. They are not related, by the way. Utley threw it off the back of Yoder. Now Nick Yoder just inside the arc. Got it to go. A friendly rim here in Plymouth.
And he can use that. The other night, it took him a long time to get his first points against Warsaw.
Nick averages 13 points a game. That's his first bucket tonight. A 2-point Plymouth lead. Benji Nixon passing on the three-point shot. He has not taken a three this season. Hilliard will take the three and hit. Wow. He has range, and he's in it when he passes half court. He is third in the state in three-pointers made, now with 56 on the season. And Plymouth gets the lead back up to 5.
And the Pilgrims 3 out of 3 from three-point range.
Well, that's one of the big differences between these two teams. Northridge does not take a lot of three-pointers. In fact, that's why they brought this young man, Stoltzfus, up, is he gives them another weapon outside the arc. Utley drops it off for Mikey Yoder, and he had it knocked away by Nixon, and Nixon picks up the loose change. Scramble on the ball. The possession arrow points to Plymouth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Curtis Chapman is coming to town, and you have a chance to see him live in concert Saturday, February 24th, 7:30 p.m., presented by the Bluegate Theater and Shipshewana Event Center. Tickets and dinner packages available at thebluegatetheater.com or call their box office 888-447-4725. Stephen Curtis Chapman live at the Bluegate.
The lane, as you saw in that Bethel College admissions replay, no place for the timid tonight. Hilliard working on Tadeo. McCramer with the area down the lane. He got Yoder up in the air and then didn't do anything with him.
He hit the opponent in the leg with the ball. They called it a kick ball. I didn't think it was kick, but the guys in the stripes still have not asked us for our opinions, Chuck.
Nor will they.
No.
Plymouth on top, 15-10. Inbounds pass to Caden McCramer, who bowls his way up for 2. And McCramer now has 5 in the contest.
He can do that. He's a big, strong, physical guy. You'll see him more at halftime. He's one of our student athletes of the week, sponsored by TCU.
McCramer's just one of those players who does a lot of little things well, and he'll use that head and shoulder fake as you saw earlier. Stoltzfus for 3 off the back of the rim, and the rebound to Benji Nixon. Good transition defense by Northridge that time. Plymouth with a 7-point lead. Hilliard and the Pilgrims willing to take their time, but just pick out one Plymouth player and watch how much they move during an offensive set.
Almost a 3-second violation of the lane on Benji Nixon, but it's because he nearly fell down.
Hilliard with a catch and release. He is 3 for 3 from three-point range tonight. Hilliard now 57 out of 123 from three-point range this season. He hit 6 of those against both New Prairie and Tippy Valley. Tadeo got hacked in the act, and it'll count.
Heads up play by that young man as he drove the baseline, pulled up the shot. Defender kind of ran him over. Folks, there's a new team in town, and the team is Tyler's Heating and Cooling. At Tyler's, they specialize in all your heating and cooling needs. Let Tim Tyler and his team get you ready for the winter's chill by servicing your existing furnace or installing a brand new energy-efficient model. Tyler's Heating and Cooling, going above and beyond for your family's comfort. Call them at 574-347-4225.
Tadeo hits the free throw, sponsored by TK Steel, and brings the Plymouth lead back down to 7. McCramer on the left-hand dribble. Plymouth has hit 4 threes tonight. They'll go inside. Tharp had it blocked from behind by Erickson. Raiders want to run, and they'll call Erickson for a charge. It was Jake Reichert, the freshman, who was able to take it. And Ronnie Thomas just asking if his man came up with the forearm, and indeed that's the call.
Well, I thank the folks from Ruoff Home Mortgage for their support. They're proud of our hometown teams and proud to be a part of the community. When you're ready to buy a home or need to refinance your existing mortgage loan, be sure to stop by one of our offices in Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio, or go online at ruoff.com. That's RUOFF. If you're looking here in Plymouth, Steve Wissong is ready to help you at Ruoff Mortgage right here in your hometown.
Hilliard again. And this time an offensive foul called against Plymouth. This one will be on Garrett Tharp for an illegal screen.
Garrett said I didn't do it, and the official said, well, big fella, when you move like that, I don't think he thought of, a little bit of contact. But
the good news for Hilliard is the missed shot doesn't count.
Yeah. He's still perfect on the night.
Meanwhile, Northridge has to find a way to get one of its offensive weapons untracked, and Connor Utley obliges by getting his first basket of the game. He averages 13 a game, was all Northern Lakes Conference last season, but had been quiet until that tonight.
Raiders need a stop. Pilgrims need a point.
Hilliard tries to go baseline. Tadeo shut that off. And now a travel called against Plymouth. So Northridge starting to get the stops they need.
Speaking of stops, Chuck, Indiana Criminal Justice Institute reminds you to drive sober or get pulled over. Hey, don't drink and drive. Indiana Criminal Justice Institute.
Tadeo now handles the ball up top. He's had a good night with 5 points so far. Erickson outraces Hilliard to the ball. Utley, nice spin move. Couldn't get it to go, though, and the rebound comes down to Jake Reichert.
Northridge with 8 rebounds, Plymouth with 7, and now timeout.
Ryan Bales will take it. We will as well. 1:42 to go first half. Plymouth trying to protect a 5-point lead on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is brought to you by Ruoff Home Mortgage, a great name to know when you need a mortgage. They've had plenty to cheer about so far here in Plymouth tonight, and a lot of that is due to the three-point shooting of Clay Hilliard, who has been on his mark outside the arc. And you can see third in the state with 57 three-pointers made.
So correct in the way he goes up, elevates, stays square. Explosive right arm as he releases the ball, a backspin on it. Good looking shooter.
Certainly the top three-point shooter we've seen in the area this year.
Folks interested in improving all areas of your fitness program or sport? Join the Strength and Conditioning Center in Mishawaka. It's Beacon Sports Performance. They offer youth, high school, and adult performance training. Visit their website at beaconhealthandfitness.org today.
So Plymouth to inbound in the forecourt with a 5-point lead. Caden McCramer on the dribble. Jake Reichert, the freshman, handled the ball up top, but now McCramer takes it down the lane, put it up no good, and another good box out by Northridge. These are two very fundamentally sound teams, and in watching Plymouth's practice this week, there was a lot of respect for how solid Northridge is in the fundamentals. Jackson Erickson kicks it outside. Northridge with a minute left in the first half, and Utley fell down and lost the ball. Plymouth on the run. McCramer takes it in and gets it to go. So McCramer with 7, and that's the lead for Plymouth.
Tough possession for Utley. Looking to get the penetration and dish and lost his footing.
Now Josh Hostetler in the game. Throws it out to Erickson. Erickson with all kinds of head movements, and finally a foul is called.
Coming up at halftime, we'll be going down to Bo Hunt for his Bill's Heating report. Bill's Heating has been keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. You can relax knowing your family's comfort is their top priority. And Bill Sheeting was voted best of the best by readers of the Goshen News. Call Bill Sheeting 574-533-2079.
6 fouls now on Plymouth, so they have to worry about a bonus for the last 21 seconds of the first half. And Ronnie Thomas calls out IU from the sideline. Hopefully, Northridge's offense will be better than what the Hoosier offense was in the second half the other night. Utley up and short. The rebound to Plymouth. Can Hilliard get one off before the half? Not quite on the mark. And the first half comes to an end with Plymouth up by 7. Bill's Heating sideline report. Here's Bo Hunt.
Coach, you go in the half with a 7-point lead. Fundamentally wise, you guys look pretty efficient. Offense, defense, everything out there. Just your thoughts in the first half.
Well, I think you saw us get away from, we didn't jump stop, making the simple play on offense, and we can't give these guys extra possessions. They're too good offensively. I thought we competed well on the defensive end. We know they're going to turn it up, though.
You guys shot awfully well in 3-point shots there in the first half. Just thoughts on that?
Well, we showed great patience. It seemed to come through reversals. I'd like to see us push in transition a little bit more, then pull it back out, run our offense, and we got some guys who can shoot it, but I think we also need to get our post guys involved a little bit more in what we did. I think Tharp needs to have a bigger half for us.
Thanks, Ryan. Back to you guys.
All right, well, you got to do a better job of protecting Coach Bales down there, Bo. He's going to get nailed by these kids who are all trying to win a bottle of pop in the half-court shootout. We've got a few bottles of pop to go through and a few features to go through at halftime, including our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. It's next on 46.
Welcome back to Plymouth High School. We get a chance to honor our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out who you can become a member today. A couple of outstanding representatives of their respective schools with us. Braden Tadeo is with us from Northridge High School, and Caden McCramer is with us from Plymouth High School. And we're going to talk to Braden first. And Braden, first of all, congratulations on being singled out for this award. I know it's great to be honored for your hard work and your effort. You've been a busy guy and done a great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Talk about what it takes to get all that done. You're involved in basketball and soccer at a high level. You're captain of the team. You're doing a great job in the classroom. How do you get it done?
Just got to manage your time wisely and put in the work, and hopefully it pays off.
When you're a captain and you got younger guys on the team, is it important to set that example and show them that you got to get your work done?
It is. It really is, because they just got to know that hard work pays off, and if they keep pushing and they keep reaching for the goals, it can work.
You're talking about going to Indiana Wesleyan, which is a great school, and you're saying you're not going to play soccer on the varsity level, but I got a feeling every club team on campus is going to be talking to you.
Hopefully, yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun. Talk about why you picked Wesleyan.
It's just a great school that has my values and interests, and I've heard it's just really good.
It is a very good school. Talk about the people who've had your back. Who's on your support team?
I'd just like to thank my parents. I'd like to thank God. I'd like to thank my coaches and teammates for helping us.
Well, congratulations on our award, and just really proud of what you've done at Northridge High School. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right, and Braden is going to be heading down to Indiana Wesleyan. We're really proud of that guy, Braden Tadeo. And Caden McCramer is with us from Plymouth High School, and you're a one-sport guy. You're a basketball guy, and you're involved in a great program down here. A lot of great history at Plymouth. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you very much.
I want to ask you the same type of a question. You know, you got a lot of responsibilities. Basketball is not a 4-month-a-year program. You're playing summer ball and all those things and staying in shape, and you really have to be disciplined about your time management and your priorities.
I mean, yeah, you find the right balance that works for you between school and sports, but I think once you find that balance, you really figure it out and kind of get into the groove.
Talk about what's ahead for you academically, where you want to go, what do you want to study?
Right now, my plan is to attend Loyola University in Chicago and study to become an anesthesiologist.
What if they want you to play basketball?
I kind of want to just be a student after this, so it's kind of what I want to go into.
Anesthesiology is pretty significant in that you chose something that you directly are involved with. What brought that on for you?
Well, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to always be a doctor since I was little, and it was just kind of something I found interesting through kind of some science classes here at the school.
Great. Talk about who's had your back and who's supported you in your time in high school here at Plymouth.
I think my parents have been my main support. I mean, they kind of make whatever I need happen, and they're always there for me.
It's always good not to single out one teacher because everybody else wants to know why you didn't pick them as well. Hey, congratulations on your great success. Wish you all the best in college and in your career.
Thank you.
Caden McCramer from Plymouth High School, one of our student athletes of the week. Braden Tadeo. I knew I'd one fumble for Nagel in the interview. Braden Tadeo also with us from Northridge High School, our student athletes of the week. Brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. We're back in a moment with halftime stats and highlights. You're watching the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. 22-15, Plymouth on top of Northridge here at the half. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high atop the fray here at the Rock in Plymouth. First half dominated by the Pilgrims.
It really was, Chuck, and they did so many things well. You look at the limited number of turnovers in the game, means the intensity was there for both teams, but Plymouth shot the ball much better. A positive percentage from the field, but from three-point range, outstanding.
Let's show you how it got to be this way here in Plymouth as Northridge fired the first salvo of the first half with a nice spin move by Jackson Erickson. But after that, Plymouth started to assert command. Caden McCramer with a three on the outside. Then he'll come down the next time down the floor, get a nice assist to Gareth Thorpe on the inside. And Plymouth started to get that offense cranked up. And of course, their offense also includes the three-point shooting of Clay Hilliard as they jumped out to an 8-2 lead. Jackson Erickson would slice inside for two more, but those were his only two baskets of the first half. Northridge just didn't have enough offensive production to answer not only the three-point shooting of Hilliard, who had 9 points in the half, but the layup from McCramer, who had 7. So that tandem by itself outscored Northridge in the first half.
And one of the things that Ronnie Thomas obviously did at the end of the first quarter, they were 0 for 3 from three-point range, so we're not going to shoot that anymore tonight, at least not in the first half. They didn't shoot any of them in the second quarter. Might need to do that in the third quarter. Three-point shooting, Northridge 0 for 3 in the ball game. Plymouth was 4 out of 5. Field goal shooting 52% to 35%. Wasn't necessarily bad shots for Northridge, just couldn't get them to go down.
So 22-15 the score for Plymouth at halftime. This has been the Mary's Match Be the Match halftime report. Second half play-by-play from Plymouth comes your way next on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're helping make our communities brighter. Well, we heard from Ryan Bales already at halftime, but Bo Hunt with your Bills Heating sideline report. What did Ronnie Thomas have to say at the half?
I talked to Ronnie, and he talked about their defense. He said he was happy with their defense, but they could still play a little bit harder and get up on their three-point shooters. He said offensively, he said we just didn't handle the ball well and move the ball well. He said in the second half, we really got to concentrate on ball movement and turnovers, less turnovers. Guys?
All right, thank you very much. Bo's sideline report brought to us by our friends at Bills Heating. Northridge will start the second half in possession of the basketball. Bob used the term a couple of times during the first half, settling for shots, and that's something that Northridge seemed to do a lot of in the first half.
Yeah, it took some, especially the outside three-pointers. You know, they can work the ball inside. We saw Erickson go inside against Warsaw. We haven't seen much of that penetration tonight.
Back to Deo was the leading scorer. Erickson tries a three there, can't hit, but Stauffer a rare offensive rebound, and it results in points for the cutting Erickson. The back door was wide open that time for Northridge. Ryan Bales on the boards looks a little disgusted on that Plymouth sideline.
One thing, if Northridge had an advantage in the ball game so far and in the first half, was rebounding.
Hilliard misses a two-point effort, and here's Stauffer with a rebound.
11-7 now, the rebounding advantage for Northridge.
Stauffer banging away on the inside, uses that baby hook. We saw that same move against Warsaw be successful for the big sophomore.
Got his attention at halftime, didn't they?
And all of a sudden, Northridge within 3. They trailed by as many as 10 in the first half. Plymouth students trying to urge on their classmates. Benji Nixon had such a terrific year in football. Drives down the lane with the scoop layup for 2. 5'10" senior with his first basket of the night.
Good no foul there for Northridge.
Utley outside to Nick Yoder. Boy, that tandem has been quiet tonight. Erickson wanted to take the 3, instead goes inside for the 2. And Jackson Erickson leading Northridge with 8 points tonight.
That's kind of the move we were looking for and what he's done in the past.
He had that big game against Warsaw where he scored 25 against the Tigers. 8 double-figure games so far this season for the junior. Tharp with the right hand. Now McCramer.
Good defense there by Utley to cut out the baseline.
Nixon is able to slide by Nick Yoder and get the basket. And a timeout taken by Plymouth with 5:35 to go in the third. The Pilgrims still up by 5 thanks to the exploits of Benji Nixon on 46. Edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week brought to you by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951.
Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future, whether growing your family, your square footage, or your business. Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they are an equal housing opportunity lender.
Stauffer down on the block with Tharp chesting him up. Now Utley, shut off by Hilliard. And now the ball thrown away off Erickson. Nixon, a little bit too low on the pass that time to be caught in rhythm. Tharp will take the wing jumper and rattle it home. Garrett Tharp now with 4, and Plymouth up 28-21. I'm sure John Barron, the football coach of Plymouth, envious of that score. Utley into the lane for 2. Connor Utley now with 4 points tonight.
You almost want to ask, who are these guys and where were they in the first half? We've had a lot of guys who have played better in the second half.
Hilliard for 3. 4 3-pointers tonight for Clay Hilliard.
The one known commodity we've seen in this game all night long is Clay Hilliard. Can't let him catch and shoot. The rhythm is terrific.
He gets rid of the ball so quickly, too. It's his 15th game in double figures this year. Plymouth is playing its 16th contest of the season tonight. An 8-point advantage for Plymouth midway through the third. Game with huge ramifications in the Northern Lakes Conference. Erickson is fouled on the way up by Hilliard.
Hilliard, a heady player. This is his first foul. Folks, don't pass up a deal from Papa John's Pizza. Try a pan or large dual-layer pepperoni pizza for only $10, or add any of their salted caramel desserts to your pizza order. Your favorite desserts topped with salted caramel for a sweet and savory treat. We'd like to thank Papa John's Pizza of Plymouth for feeding our production crew tonight with great pizza. Papa John's Pizza, better ingredients, better pizza.
Had Stauffer caught the inbounds pass cleanly, he probably scores that basket. Hilliard puts the ball on the floor and drives to the hoop for 2. 14 points now in the game for Clay Hilliard. Plymouth matches its biggest lead at 10.
Chuck, a great example there of a guy like Hilliard who can shoot the 3. You get out on him, he goes by you.
Erickson goes baseline. Stauffer takes the jumper and hits. And a timeout taken by Ronnie Thomas with 3:06 to go in the third.
Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a world-class metal finishing company specializing in plating, coating, testing, and consulting services. 58 years is a knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Reach us on the web at info@iftworldwide.com.
So coming up next week on TV 46, it's girls basketball tournament time, and the sectionals will be underway. We will find a sectional semifinal and bring it to you Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Could be down at Fairfield, where we saw the Falcons last week, and they got a big Northeast Corner Conference win tonight over West Noble. We'll see if we see a rematch of that in the semifinals. It's girls tournament action next Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9 on TV 46.
Good to see the good work being done down there by Coach Garber and the Fairfield Lady Falcons. You know, Chuck, walking in tonight, I saw some of the fans on the opposite side of the court, the veteran fans, I call them. I was talking to them before the game, and some of them had grandchildren or sons who played here years ago. I asked if they're there when Scott Skiles and company won the state championship in '82, and they all said, oh yeah, this is where I sat, I was here, I was there. Great remembrances, you know, something that hit me. 1982 was 36 years ago. Wow, time goes by.
Scott Skiles now 54 years old, but still well remembered in these parts. Hilliard off the front iron on the three. Nixon was able to corral the carom. Good defense by Erickson, knocks the pass into the backcourt, but Tharp is able to retrieve it. And that leaves Hilliard loose for two. He's putting on a show tonight. 16 now for Hilliard. Erickson, another talented junior, off the hands of Stauffer, and here comes Plymouth the other way.
Too bad they didn't complete. That was a really good pass.
Now McCramer will point things out.
10-point lead.
Hilliard finds the open man, but Tharp too strong with the shot. Cam Nepp with the rebound. Erickson wants to hustle in transition, finds his open man. Nick Yoder short on the shot. And that's the kind of night it's been for Northridge.
Good looking shot.
And Plymouth will take its time now with a 10-point lead.
More than 50 years ago, encompassing 3 generations in the construction industry, Michiana Contracting has now grown to be one of the most comprehensive contractors in the state of Indiana. They have the resources and experience to handle a project from beginning to end and every aspect in between. Michiana Contracting in Plymouth.
Benji Nixon sent hurtling into cameraman Matt Kowalski down on the baseline. The foul called on Nick Yoder, his first, and the first on Northridge in the second half.
A little frustration there for Nick Yoder.
Hilliard. Now to McCramer. Posting up down low was Filson, but he couldn't get the shot to go. Nepp with another rebound.
Good pass, good setup, just couldn't finish.
But the combination of Utley and Yoder, averaging 26 points a game for Northridge, has been held to just 6 tonight. Can Utley do something about it here? He draws the contact, and he'll go to the line thanks to the foul on Garrett Tharp. And the free throws are sponsored by the Middlebury Community Schools.
Head coach Ryan Lightfoot and the Bethel Pilots invite you to join them for a game this season on the campus of beautiful Bethel College in Mishawaka. Bring the entire family for a game and enjoy college basketball at its finest. Visit their website at bethelcollege.edu for a complete basketball schedule. The Pilots wishing the teams tonight a great game.
Connor Utley, a 78% foul shooter on the year, misses the first. He was an all-state defensive back for Tom Wagaman's Raiders and hit the game-winning shot for Northridge in their win over Goshen this season.
Northridge 3 out of 4 on the night from the charity stripe. That was their first miss.
They missed them both. Plymouth will walk it up the floor with a 10-point lead.
Pilgrims have closed the gap a little bit on rebounding as well. Northridge at 14, Plymouth at 10.
Tharp needs some help, and there's the guy that's helped Plymouth the most tonight, Clay Hilliard. 16 points for the guard. McCramer looking over at Ryan Bales, who stands with his arms folded, looking on patiently with this 10-point lead. Now McCramer signals the play as we hit 10 seconds on the clock, bottom right corner of your screen. It's McCramer, and he got wrapped up on an intentional foul by Utley. Utley just made no play for the ball.
You saw that same play in the JV game, Chuck, and they did not call an intentional foul.
Northridge foul, number 10, Connor Utley.
You'll get another look at this on the Bethel College admissions replay, and the fact of the matter is, Utley never made any play for the ball. He just played the body of the man. That's great when you're a defensive back. It's not so good in this sport.
And it's going to put McCramer at the free throw line.
And McCramer's free throw sponsored by Michiana Contracting. Caden's a 67% free throw shooter on the year.
First made free throw by Plymouth tonight. Makes them both.
He has 9 points in the contest, and Plymouth will retain possession of the basketball, up 12.
And it's not like Plymouth, by the way, wasn't shooting well. They had only taken 1 free throw before that.
So the Pilgrims with a chance to really build the cushion here on this final possession. And again, it's McCramer. Hilliard gets rid of it and hits. Bingo. He's as close to automatic as anybody you've seen in the area. Clay Hilliard has 19 points on the night. And Plymouth with its biggest lead at 15. Like a fisherman, it's catch and release on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. The teams in this game working towards a great finish, and so is the team from IFT, where quality is a way of life. Everything going Plymouth's way in this one, and especially for number 12, Clay Hilliard. Bo Hunt, your thoughts on that young man for the Pilgrims?
Well, Clay, what a performance he's had so far. His last game that he came out and played, he had 28 points, a career high. He's hit 6 3-pointers twice this year in games, 5 tonight. We'll see if he can break that 6 mark, guys.
And Plymouth starts the quarter with possession, and Hilliard hits another one. 21 now for Hilliard. And Plymouth up by 17. And guess what? Another one of the co-leaders in the NLC, Elkhart Memorial, was trailing Goshen at halftime. So there could be all kinds of upheaval in the conference tonight.
Plymouth came in 2-2, got a chance to stay alive.
Utley goes bowling for dollars and is called for the charge.
Northridge foul, number 10.
And the Raiders are a picture of frustration right now.
Plymouth shot 7 of 11 from the field in the third quarter, including 2 out of 3 from three-point range. And now for the ball game, 16 of 28, 57%.
Northridge going with full court pressure to try to do something to jumpstart their team. But now Plymouth can put this one in the deep freeze.
You know, Chuck, we talked about some new names in the second half. You can't say enough about what Benji Nixon did early, because he created some room for Clay Hilliard to really open things up by scoring a couple of baskets early. Hadn't scored in the first half, did a great job.
Well, and Hilliard created that time for Cole Filson, who would go to the line, take free throws sponsored by Michiana Contracting. Filson, a 73% free throw shooter on the year, looking for his 3rd point of the night.
Stouffer with his 3rd personal foul.
Cole Filson, a 3-sport athlete here at Plymouth High School, as you see today. Check out. Filson, a quarterback on the football team, also plays baseball. High honor roll student, involved in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the Key Club. And he hits both free throws. Plymouth by 19. Not sure anybody quite saw this coming. Not quite a surprise that Plymouth would be leading at home as Stauffer misses inside. But the fact that they've taken a good team like Northridge to the woodshed tonight will raise some eyebrows.
Really have. Erickson in there for a rebound, but couldn't hang out, went out of bounds. Got people playing hard, hustling for Northridge, but Plymouth has really had a solid game plan and executed it well.
inside. Tharp got pinned low by Stauffer and missed the shot.
I was waiting for a 3-second call there, Chuck.
Utley down low gets the left-hand layup, and 6 points now for Connor Utley. But Northridge still finds itself down by 17.
Going to need some help from the Pilgrims, and got some right there.
Utley down at the other end with the wing bank shot for 2. So that's 8 points now for Utley, as Northridge continues to ramp up the pressure. And if there might be a question about this Plymouth team, it is how will they handle the ball when pressure is applied.
Well, should they make another mistake or turn the ball over here, I think we'd have a timeout coming from Ryan Bales.
McCramer for 3.
Quiet crowd, quiet over there.
Caden McCramer now with 12, his 8th game in double figures this year. He's hit a couple of 3-pointers tonight.
Acting like a senior right there, wasn't he?
Has really given good leadership to this Plymouth team this year. 3 in the corner for Utley is short, and the rebound to McCramer. McCramer he looks like an older player. Here's Nixon splitting the defense for 2. He's had 6 points in the second half tonight, and they've all been by exploiting his quickness.
A nice job, and again, they're always looking for Hilliard, so Nixon's been able to cash in on that defensive coverage.
Kyle Carson outside, now Stauffer down low.
Stauffer was aggressive a couple times in his second half. He needs to stay that way.
The hook shot missed by Camden Knepp, and the rebound to Plymouth, and the Pilgrims can just take their time with a 20-point lead and 4:12 left.
TK Steele proudly supports the Northridge Raiders and wishes them good luck in tonight's game and the rest of the season. TK Steele would like to give a shout out to a special senior, number 10, Connor Utley. Have a great year. It's been a great one already.
Plymouth just being very patient as the Pilgrims look for their 5th consecutive win. They've got Mishawaka coming to the Rock tomorrow night. But I'll tell you what, the way this Plymouth team is playing, maybe they are one of the favorites in the Elkhart sectional coming up in about 5 weeks.
Foul whistle. Knepp has his first foul. Folks at Middlebury Community Schools, a top achieving school district now accepting tuition-free transfer students. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
Should take a look at Ryan Bales on the sideline. In his 7th year here at the helm of the Pilgrims. Hilliard loses the handle, and Utley comes the other way, but McCramer swats the ball away. I'm telling you right now, Caden McCramer, I can picture him in 20 years at the Y. He's not going to look any different than he does now, and he's going to play just as hard as he does
And
now.
that's one of the things you love about Indiana high school basketball, Chuck, is you got guys that aren't going to play at the next level, and they're giving it everything they've got at this level because they can play and contribute and be a part of something special.
Erickson's pull-up jumper is off the mark, and there was McCramer battling for the rebound, and Hilliard saved it to Skirvin.
Plymouth now only down 2 rebounds in the ball game.
And Plymouth will just take its time, move the ball around to a lot of different people, probably won't take a shot unless they have a layup. Nixon nearly wore that ball in the chin. McCramer.
Discipline there.
And the serenade begins from the Plymouth student body as Stoltzfus is called for the foul.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Curtis Chapman is coming to town, and you have a chance to see him live in concert. Saturday, February 24th, 7:30 p.m., presented by the Blue Gate Theater and Shipshewana Event Center. Tickets and dinner packages are available. Go on the website at bluegatetheater.com or call the box office, 888-447-4725. Stephen Curtis Chapman live at the Blue Gate.
Inbounds pass comes to McCramer. Now Hilliard will go all the way in and draw the contact. He'll go to the line to take free throws sponsored by Michiana Contracting.
Northridge foul number 32, Jackson Erickson.
Well, Plymouth, we mentioned Mishawaka coming up, and then it's life on the road for the Pilgrims. They have to close out the Northern Lakes Conference season at Goshen, at Warsaw, and then they go to Penn for a non-conference game on February 13th. As Hilliard hits the first. By the way, here's another thing Hilliard does well. He's an 88% free throw shooter.
Means he misses 12% of the time, Chuck.
Didn't miss that one. He has 23 tonight. And Plymouth up 51-29.
23 in a game where they've held the ball out in the second half.
Foul called on Plymouth on the outside, but that's only the third on the Pilgrims.
There's a new team in town, and the team is Tyler's Heating and Cooling. At Tyler's, they specialize in all your heating and cooling needs. Let Tim Tyler and his team get you ready for this winter's chill by servicing your existing furnace or installing a brand new energy-efficient model. Tyler's Heating and Cooling, going above and beyond for your family's comfort. Their phone number, 574-347-4225. That's 347-4225.
Erickson, he's fouled on the way up. I think Ziegler is called for his third.
Pilgrim foul number 24, Evan Ziegler, his third.
And Brayson Lesenby will check in for Plymouth. And Caden McCramer will check out with a 12-point night.
And a nice hand. Also coming out. Welcome McCramer, the one coming out now and getting the recognition he deserves. This has become a really nice basketball team at Plymouth. Something that Ryan Bales was being very patient about early in the season, see what parts were going to fit, what they needed to do.
This will be their 10th win of the season. Erickson fires the three. It's off the mark. And Ziegler was fouled on the rebound by Stoltzfus, so Evan Ziegler will get a chance to see if he can sink his first free throw of the year. It's sponsored by Michiana Contracting.
A lot of great games coming up, and of course the girls basketball regular season coming to an end this week. They get underway on Tuesday, the 30th of January, with the IHSAA state tournament. Good luck to all of our teams in the area. We've got some really good ones.
Benji Nixon done for the night. He has 6 points as he goes to the bench and did a fine defensive job as well. Can get overlooked easily in a blowout win like this as Ziegler hits his first free throw of the year, now 1 for 2 from the stripe. But Plymouth held Northridge to just 29 points so far in this game. Ziegler now with 4 points.
And the Pilgrims 6 out of 6 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter and 3 out of 3 from the field.
Inside, Tadeo loses the handle.
Like somebody might have had a foot on part of his shoe, but turnover nonetheless. 34 coming in. That's Jake Riker, one of the top freshmen in the area.
And here comes Clay Hilliard out of the game with 23 points. Clay, towel off and groom your hair. You'll be talking with Bo Hunt in a matter of moments.
You talking to Bo or Clay? Now Bo looks good.
Bo, when we take a look at the Elkhart sectional field, and it's basically the Northern Lakes Conference teams and Elkhart Central this year in that field, I gotta like the chances of this Plymouth team as much as anybody, don't you?
Well, I think it's wide open. That sectional, who knows who's going to be playing well at that time. It's still a few weeks away. And, you know, we've seen Plymouth against Northwood. We've seen Northridge twice now. It seems like when they're not on cameras, when they're playing well. So it's hard to tell who's going to win that sectional and who's going to play well come sectional time as well.
Well, and Warsaw is such a wild card, too, because Doug Ogle's team has been playing a lot better. We kind of saw them get their season turned around at Northridge 3 weeks ago, and they haven't lost since. So it'll be interesting, as always, at the Big Barn on Bristol.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute remaining.
Ziegler on the dribble. But Northridge, well, will they foul here or just let the last minute go off the clock? When you're down by 24, there's not a whole lot of sense in fouling.
Hasn't been about the defensive effort either. Holding Plymouth to 53 is not a bad night defensively, but Plymouth has held the ball out in the second half, and Northridge just hasn't been able to mount an attack.
Nate Bowman in the game now for Northridge. Good dribbling by Ziegler that time. Jake Reichert, the freshman. And an impressive performance by the Plymouth Pilgrims tonight. They have upset the apple cart in the Northern Lakes Conference, knocking off one of the league leaders and doing it in a big fashion as Plymouth wins it tonight by a count of 53-29. Our post-game coverage begins after this on TV 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week brought to you by J.V. Macri Orthodontics. Trust your smile to an expert, and by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for 27 years. The fans here in Plymouth celebrating a 53-29 victory over Northridge tonight in Northern Lakes Conference action. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel back with you from the Rock. And partner, a very impressive performance by Clay Hilliard.
It really was, and give credit to his teammates too for setting him up, doing the other things. Again, we mentioned Benji Nixon's quick 4 points in the second half that maybe created more room. It was a good team effort, and I got a feeling you might be in the film room this week talking about how you set up a jump shooter and a guy to catch and shoot with the rhythm that he had tonight. It was special.
Well, Hilliard was fun to watch tonight, and he's our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game, standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with Clay Hilliard. Clay, 23 points tonight. First off, big victory against Northridge at home here. Just talk about the victory.
Really, we just came out as a team, did our thing, and we took care of the little things out here tonight, and that's what got us a big lead, and we kept it, and we hung on to that, and ended up getting a W.
Talking about that W, you guys are still in the hunt for the conference. That was a big win against Northridge. Just talk about how you guys feel about the conference going forward.
We feel really strong about what we have, and I think we can take these next 2 games, win them, and just however it plays out, hopefully Memorial gets another loss to give us a chance. So if we win out, then I think we got a chance at this, really.
You guys won 5 out of 6, lost 5, and now you're on a 5-game win streak. Just talk about the streaks that you guys had and what the difference is in this one.
Really, it's just about the end of the games, pulling them out and executing the game plan. We took care of the little things in practice to get us to this 5-game winning streak. And that losing streak, we just went through a few rough spots, but now we fixed that. We're hoping to stay on the streak right now.
Bob was wondering how you get that quick release on the 3-pointers. Can you give him a lesson after we're done?
For sure, yeah.
All right, back to you guys.
Clay and Bob shared a similar concern before the game. They were both wondering when the new Post Malone album is going to be dropped. Nevertheless, we're back with more of our post-game coverage after this on 46.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
Our post-game show rolls on from Plymouth as the Pilgrims celebrate this 53-29 win over Northridge. Time now to look at a couple more of our post-game features, and we'll start with our electrifying play of the game. And it happened at the end of the third quarter, courtesy of Clay Hilliard once again.
And it wasn't hard to pick this one out, Chuck, as he electrified the crowd all during the game. It came down to the final seconds of the third quarter. You're thinking, hey, they're going to wait and maybe take a last-second shot. Why would you do that? Well, you got Clay Hilliard.
Almost looked like he didn't know how much time was on the clock, and then he shoots right over the top of Braden Tadeo for the three that Well, the crowd was in awe of that one as well. That's our electrifying play of the game from the electrical workers of Local 153. The Indiana Criminal Justice Institute sponsors our Whoa stop of the game, and actually we gave that one to the Northridge Raiders. In the fourth quarter, they started applying some full court pressure, and it did pay off with a couple of steals.
Made a little bit of a run, and the steal here sets up a nice basket to get it to Utley on the wing. Bank open tonight? Yeah, it was a little bit late on a Friday night, but he knocked it in. That's the Indiana Criminal Justice Whoa stop of the game. And there were a few, and you really got to give credit. When you look at Plymouth winning this game easily, a big reason for that was the defense they played. Held a good Northridge team to 29 points. Wow.
Bank was open, not enough deposits by Northridge. So 53-29 the final. They're starting to turn out the lights, and so we should as well. Thanks to our TV 46 crew who helped bring you this one, led by our outstanding producer-director, Joe Fertina, the pride of LaPorte, Indiana. Not sure what national day he was celebrating today, but
there's one every day.
He's been sponsoring one every day, and today is National Spouses Day. So
of course it is.
Kudos to Monica Fertina, who has to put up with him on a daily basis. And the rest of our 46 crew. A reminder that when you're busy during the week, make sure you follow us on social media at our Twitter and Facebook sites, where we give you updates, including, I'm sure, what will be the Emmy Award-winning 46 Film Room. Now, for my broadcast partners, they're Hall of Famers, you know, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt. This is Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final score, Plymouth 53, Northridge 29. So long from the banks of the Yellow River.